So why is it that some guys seem to eat whatever they want and stay lean, while others feel like they gain weight just looking at a donut? Your metabolism plays a huge role in losing body fat, but most guys just don't realize how much theirs declined after their 20s. But the good news is you can boost your metabolism naturally, without starving yourself, doing hours of daily cardio, or wasting money on useless supplements. And in this video, I'll show you the smartest way to increase your metabolism to naturally burn more fat and stay lean without disrupting your busy lifestyle. So think of your metabolism like an engine. A Porsche GT3 burns fuel fast and runs more efficiently, kind of like burning more body fat, compared to, say, an old Mitsubishi, which burns fuel less efficiently, kind of like burning less energy, making it easier to store more body fat. So the key difference is your muscle to body fat ratio. More muscle and less fat means you're going to burn more calories even at rest or in an idle state. More fat, less muscle, your body's going to burn fewer calories, making it harder to lose body fat. And this is why two guys at the exact same body weight can eat the same diet, yet one stays lean and the other struggles to lose belly fat. And unfortunately, most guys burn far fewer calories than they actually think. Not because their metabolism is broken or damaged, but because losing muscle and moving less over time slows it down. And I'll show you what I mean, because our metabolism is made up of 4 parts. The biggest part is our BMR, which is our basal metabolic rate. It's basically the amount of calories that we burn doing nothing, just by being alive and breathing and our heart pumping and our mind thinking. The second is our thermic effect of food. It's basically the calories we burn when we eat food and the body has to digest it. The third thing is our EAT, which is our exercise activity burn. It's basically any deliberate cardio or workouts that you might be doing and the calories that are burned in that session. The fourth thing, which is often overlooked, is our NEAT, which is non-exercise activity thermogenesis. It just means all the movement that you're doing in a set day, including moving my arms, talking, typing on a keyboard, cooking, cleaning, showering. All this movement accounts for your NEAT. The problem is most guys only focus on their exercise or their cardio burn while ignoring their BMR and their NEAT, which can make up to 80 to 90% of the total daily metabolism that we burn within 24 hours. So this is why when men get busy, they start a business, they get married, they have kids, they start losing muscle, they stop moving as much, and naturally they're burning far fewer calories than what they were back in their 20s. But you can increase your metabolism naturally without extreme dieting, long workouts, or useless supplements. And the easiest place to start is with your nutrition. So imagine a guy named Matt. He's a business owner who's tried everything to lose fat, cutting junk food, eating only chicken and broccoli, doing hours of cardio, and at first it worked. He dropped 10 pounds of fat fast, but after a few weeks he stalled. He felt exhausted and he craved sugar like crazy. Why? Well, it's because Matt didn't realize his metabolism had already adapted. His extreme diet and cardio routine caused his body to burn fewer calories to survive. So with too little food, your body will slow down metabolism to unconsciously conserve energy. Too little protein, you can lose more muscle, which also lowers your calorie burn even further. And too much cardio can crash your energy, spike your appetite and cravings, and risk you ending up binge eating late at night. So instead of starving himself, Matt optimized all of his meals to burn more fat while preserving the muscle that he was building in the process. So for example, he started eating between 130 to 160 grams of protein per day to keep his metabolism higher from the thermic effect of food, but also preserve the muscle and increase the meal satiety, keeping him fuller for longer. The second thing he did was a controlled calorie deficit. So instead of extreme cutting and getting rid of all the foods he actually enjoys, he just started with a 600 calorie deficit below his true maintenance level. And that's the important part, because most people far overestimate what their true maintenance is. And by doing this, it allowed him to lose fat without starving himself or missing out on family dinners and business lunches. And the third thing he did was balancing carbs and fat. So he kept carbs higher on the training days, which helped with energy and performance in the gym and recovery, and slightly tapered them down on the days that he wasn't training to match the level of energy on the rest days. So within 12 weeks, if Matt did this, he could easily go from feeling stuck, sluggish, and miserable to dropping another 10 pounds, looking leaner, stronger, and feeling more energized. But nutrition alone isn't enough to optimize our metabolism above the average for the long term. And cardio alone will not cut it. I'm going to show you why. So after fixing his diet, Matt felt like his metabolism still wasn't fully optimized. Let's imagine that Matt did fix his diet and he followed all those steps I just talked about. Well, he would still feel like his metabolism isn't fully optimized because even by making nutritional changes, the scale is going to fluctuate and get stuck in plateaus from time to time. And naturally, he would want to add an hour of cardio to his routine every morning, getting up at 5 a.m., squeezing in an hour of cardio before he eats breakfast and goes off to work. Now, at first, this could definitely work and it would help speed up fat loss a little bit because by doing an hour of cardio, you're going to be burning more energy for that hour. But not long after implementing an hour of cardio each morning, Matt might notice some side effects. His fat loss could stall again. He's going to feel more drained in the mid to late morning from burning a lot of energy in that first hour in the day. This could jack up his cravings and make him want to eat more food at lunchtime or at dinner time when he gets home from work. And by burning energy and being hungry, this can make it more difficult to stay sharp and focused when we're at work, dealing with bigger projects and high stress situations. So this is why going to big bouts of cardio isn't the best way to optimize your metabolism for the long term. Sure, cardio is going to burn more calories, but your body will eventually adapt to it. You'll unconsciously move less when you're not doing cardio. And as soon as you stop doing the cardio session, your heart rate and your body temperature is going to drop back to your idle state. And if you're sitting at a desk all day like I do, we're not going to be burning a lot of energy doing that. And doing too much cardio can actually lead to losing more muscle if the diet is not in sync with the energy burn that you're expending each day. And with less muscle, decreases BMR, which pretty much lowers metabolism even further. So instead, Matt could shift his focus to strength training instead of doing too much cardio. Simply doing 3 efficient weight workouts a week with no daily grind. Focusing on compounds like your squats, pressing, deadlifting, stuff that's going to incorporate all of the body, and progressively getting stronger every week. Unlike cardio, doing this is going to lead to more muscle growth. And with more muscle, that helps elevate our BMR just by a little bit every day. Even when we're at rest and we're not physically moving, just by having more muscle, our BMR is going to be a little bit higher. And so if Matt did this for a few weeks, all of a sudden his body would look leaner, more defined, and even if he was at the same body weight, because he's built more muscle, which is changing his actual body shape. As a result, he'll feel stronger with more energy, and having more muscle is going to help reduce visceral fat and the subcutaneous fat underneath our skin. As a result, this is where losing body fat can start to feel more automatic, and breaking out of those plateaus is going to become easier without burning out and getting sick of it. But if you're thinking, I just don't have time to lift weights every day, well, there is an easy way to increase your metabolism without going to the gym, without stepping on a treadmill or sacrificing much time at all. So coming back to the example with Matt, who's on track with his goals, training 3 times a week, eating the right amount of food and keeping his body in a fat loss deficit, despite all that, he still wanted to lose fat a little bit faster. This is where he started to focus on his NEAT. And this is the biggest metabolism booster that most people overlook or just haven't even heard about. For example, if you did a workout every single day, that might only be 5 to 10% of your total metabolic burn for the day. However, your NEAT could be as much as 20, 30, even 40% of your total daily metabolic burn. So instead of adding more cardio, Matt could make just one simple change, such as taking phone calls on his headset or Bluetooth while walking around the office, parking an extra 100, 200, whatever meters away from the office to clock up a bit more steps, taking the stairs instead of the escalators or the elevators, going to get a coffee or a water or snack instead of getting it delivered, going for a walking meeting instead of sitting down at the desk, setting an alarm every 30 to 45 minutes just to stand up for a minute or two, stretch, move around, and sit back down. So just by doing these couple little changes throughout every single day, Matt could easily clock up an extra 3, 4, or 500 calories a day just in the little cracks of the day, adding up more minutes here, more minutes there of incidental movement. And then he would realize at the end of the day, he's actually burnt a lot more energy than just doing a single cardio session in the morning and then sitting down for the entire day. So let's assume Matt did this. What would that mean? Well, within a couple of weeks, he would have busted through any plateau. He would see the scale trending down more consistently and starting to see more muscle definition around his shoulders, his chest, his obliques, and ultimately his ab definition. Now, for us men, we do tend to hold more body fat around the belly button and below for the longest part but we can still have a very lean or even ripped torso while still having a little bit of belly fat on that lower section. And this is why NEAT can be one of the most important things to increase your metabolism. No matter how busy you are, no matter what your age is, anyone can find a couple of minutes every hour to get up and move around, and then by the end of the day, if you're awake for 16 hours, that is so much more energy burn than you wouldn't have got if you just sat there and didn't move at all. But if we want to keep our metabolism higher and optimized for the rest of our life, there is one final key to that. So by now, Matt has cracked the code. He's eating the right amount of foods and the right amount of protein, feeling full and satisfied every day, not missing out and not craving a binge. He's strength training 3 times a week from home with dumbbells and a bench, keeping it really simple, but he can see muscle definition and his strength increasing week after week. And he's using NEAT every day to burn way more calories than what he could have been doing if he was just doing 1 hour or 30 minutes of cardio in the morning and then sitting all day. So you could say he's almost fully optimized, but this is where most guys will fail. They'll lose weight really quickly, but then fall back to their old habits, and as a result, regain the gut over the next 6 to 12 months. One of the reasons this happens is because our metabolism can adapt and get us stuck into another plateau. Because when we lose a lot of fat, like 10, 20, 30 pounds or even more than that, our body is just lighter overall and it's easier to do everything. So naturally, we're just gonna burn a little bit less energy than what we used to when we were much heavier. It's like if I gave you a 20 or 30 pound weight vest to wear and you walked around with that all day, you're going to be extremely tired. But if I take that off you, all of a sudden, it's much easier to do everything. So instead of losing all the weight and then like crashing, losing motivation and then regaining it all, here is what Matt could do instead. He could slowly increase his calories back to a maintenance level so that his metabolism doesn't get stuck in a low calorie range and can get back up to a healthy maintenance level, allowing him to eat more food while actually staying lean. He could keep at his strength training every week to maintain muscle, but also build more muscle, because the longer we train, the more muscle we can build. And even training naturally, it could take 3 to 4 years for someone to seriously max out their muscle. So there's still a lot of progress to be made in the gym, and every kilo or pound of muscle we build is going to help increase our BMR 24 hours a day. And of course, he could keep his NEAT habits in place, because any movement outside of the gym is equally, if not more important for losing body fat than it is for the work done inside of a gym. And by doing all these steps, this is how Matt can get and stay lean year after year, without extreme diets, without crazy cardio, without starving himself and missing out on events and trips and business lunches, networking drinks, or whatever it is that Matt would like to do in his lifestyle. And if you're looking for these kind of results yourself, but you don't have a proven structure to follow, and you would like a step-by-step routine to do all this by yourself, even if you are busy juggling your work, your family, and your social life, then go and check out my Business Body Blueprint routine. My step-by-step routine designed for busy guys who want to get and stay lean without sacrificing their lifestyle and only having to invest 30 minutes 2 to 3 times a week to completely transform their body shape. You can find all the details in the link right below this video in the description. Tap there, go check it out now. If you have any questions, drop them below this video and I'll happily answer them for you. Thanks for watching.